Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Cad's Football Talks, and we're here to discuss. Right, we are here to discuss Michael Carrick and whether he should be able to get the full-time job. Now, we'll speak about the good, the bad, but there isn't any bad yet. But yeah, we'll speak about the good points as to why we think we should keep Michael Carrick, and then we could possibly think about the points that don't exist, why we shouldn't. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to try to be too biased, but again, I said this channel that I've created is just going to be, it's fan content, and it's honest. You know, we're not trying to spin no narrative or anything like that. So what I will say is, obviously, as you can see the plaque in the background, obviously is from my other reaction channel, which is Ads Crew, which is hence the sign. But obviously this is the same backdrop. But this is my football channel for Manchester United fans, and maybe rival fans. I don't know. Maybe you want to listen to it. But yeah, majority of the time we're going to be talking about Manchester United and the news. So let's get into it. So Michael Carrick. For me personally, I'm leaning to the side of things where if we beat Fulham, we beat the Tottenham at home, we play the same way. Now look, before I get into this, we are going to lose some games. You know, I know Carrick hasn't lost yet as an interim manager, but we will lose some games. But it's in the manner of how we lose them. And also, I think after the long tenure towards the end of Ten Hag and Ruben Amorim's tenure, I think that seeing this, you know, United DNA, which a lot of rival fans obviously, you know, what is it? What's the United DNA? And any United fan knows the game against Man City is United DNA. Bringing on Kuna and Sesko in the later minutes of a football match, try and get a goal to win it away at Arsenal, and not just sit back for a draw or do what Arteta does. And we got to take the win, guys. We cannot lose. We got to take the win. But yeah, no, serious. In all seriousness, shit. What am I saying? Look, in all seriousness, United DNA is getting the goalkeeper up there like Mourinho did last night in the Champions League, and getting that late goal. It's bravery, it's honour, and it's work rate, and it's belief. Because as a Man United fan, you know, it's built on belief. You know, the game's not over till that final whistle blows. That's what Fergie time is. It's the belief that the game's not over until it's over, you know. And I think that we're really seeing that, especially in the Arsenal away game at the Emirates, where we absolutely smashed Arsenal 3-2. Yes, they're undefeated at the Emirates. Yes, when they go 1-0 up, they don't lose, but they did, and that's all thanks to United DNA. So, I still can't get over that, man. I'm still living on cloud nine. I might have overwatched the goal so much to the point that I can see the goals with my eyes shut and exactly how they play out. But I did watch the goals about 1,000 times. I'm not going to lie. Every TikTok edit got a like. Every Instagram reel got a like, and all Sky Sports and the Manchester United pages on Instagram got a like. And I've just been watching them over again, but I might have watched them too much because every time I see it now, I can just see the goal. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with that because we've been deprived of such luxuries over the last 14 months, except the win at Liverpool. That was pretty amazing too. So yeah, I think the positives with Carrick, I think that in the short time that he's been there, Steve Holland as well and the coaching staff, let's give our props to them because obviously behind the scenes they're doing some amazing work. And I think that for me personally, I think if Carrick for the remainder of the 15 games, I think it is playing well, we're playing like we do, and if we lose matches whilst playing like we do, and you know you can imagine it like a late winner or a late equaliser, but you've been playing really well, and you know, the goalkeeper like Donnarumma makes some incredible saves, which you should be like 5-0 up, but you're in 2-0, or sometimes ends 2-2 or 1-1. But you know, even if the Arsenal game was 2-2, you would have been proud of the boys for the way they played, and you could have swallowed that because you saw the way that they played. And this is what I mean by, you know, the kind of football that Michael Carrick is on about. And I think that, you know, you do bring a Luis Enrique in or a Glasner and stuff like that, but you know, the whole point of why we're all so excited is because Michael Carrick's, you know, gone back to basics, but using the incredible players that we do have and their talents in the right positions, and being brave on the ball, and working just as hard off the ball as they do on. And I think to myself, well, what other manager is, you know, what else can a manager do? In my personal opinion, for me, it's like what else would you want to see from a manager? So what I'm seeing from Michael Carrick in these last couple of games is all that I'd want to see from any manager. And now I understand, obviously, we've got one game a week in time to prepare. But, that being said, who says that Michael Carrick isn't going to be, he's making the right subs? Who says he's not going to be smart? And we get some, we get, an extra few players. We give the, some young uns, some Shea Lacey's and stuff like that. Time in certain fixtures as well. Maybe we're doing really well. Maybe the West Hams and the Tottenhams. Maybe you can start bringing on some youngsters to get some game time in those sort of games, especially at Old Trafford if we're doing well there. Just nice to see us play well at Old Trafford. It was like we're scared to play there. And now that Man City game felt like it was completely the opposite, which I spoke about in my previous video. So yeah, I feel like anything that I'd want from a manager, I'm seeing already so far. Of course, early days, but I'm seeing so far from Michael Carrick. And I see a lot of people talking about we can't make that sort of decision yet, and I do agree to some circumstance. But my place on this whole thing is basically, and I don't know how you guys feel. Please let me know in the comment section. If Michael Carrick goes on the way he's going, and you win 10 games out of 12, something, why not give him consideration? I mean, anyone else you bring in is going to be a gamble. You know what I mean? So, and I don't want to let go of someone that's playing really good football. And people compare it to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but let's be honest, Michael Carrick's got a different demeanour about him. He doesn't look like he's everybody's best friend. He looks like he's got an arm around you, but he looks like he means business. And he's on that touchline in that lovely, smart trench coat. And every time he comes on the pitch, you're like, that guy means business. You know what I mean? And press conferences, he's not sitting there chatting, we're going to Safra, He's just sitting there going, look, man, I back the boys. What we've got to do. Let's go out and do it. You know what I mean? And you don't even feel like you could extract that much information out of him either. Seems like he knows how to play the press well. So that's another positive. So that's my standing on Michael Carrick and why I think he should. I mean, you could go down the route of games if you get into the Champions League, fingers crossed we do, that when it comes to playing, different games like that, maybe he will struggle. But then again, Tottenham are 5th in the group stage. They've gone through. They're 5th in the Champions League. Premier League teams are dominating the Champions League in Europe at the minute. Europa League looks like Aston Villa could win that. Conference League looks like, even with Crystal Palace's bad form, maybe Crystal Palace could win that too. It does seem like, with the competitiveness in the Premier League and the finances, I mean, Crystal Palace are, I know they've made a few sales, so that's probably why. But I mean, even Sunderland, spending 100 mil coming up from the Championship, Serie A teams, apart from maybe, I don't even know if Napoli can be spending 100 mil. The money in the Premier League, it's like, I think it's clear to say at this point that everyone was like, is the Premier League just that bad that all the other teams are getting closer? No, I think the Premier League is getting to the point now where, your Brentfords, your Fulhams, any Premier League team can beat you on any day. And I think that's the level that the Premier League has got to. Hence why you've got Tottenham sat in 14th, but yet 5th in the Champions League. So I think that's something that we really have to consider there, guys. So, I mean, the negatives that I think about Carrick is really hard for me to sort of delve in on. And I'd like you guys to list some negatives that you have in the comment section. But for me personally, I think, you've got to see how it plays out. And like you said, that's why people think it's too soon to sort of discuss. But you've got to see how it plays out. I'm willing to say if it plays out like it's going and how it's been going, then I don't see what another manager is going to bring to that. And if anything, you just tamper with it possibly. But who knows? I'm not in charge. But that's just my feeling. If you feel the same, please let me know down below in the comment section. Like I said, guys, we want to build this community up. It's going to be something special. This channel. So let's get it. Right. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Michael Carrick. I've already done the preview for the Fulham game on my previous video where we talk about, going and playing a team that, on paper you're expected to win, and that's where sometimes we struggle, shall we say? But at the same time, Fulham are no joke at the minute. If they win, they go into 4th place. They go into top 4. So. This is really got to be taken seriously. This has got to be you got to go into this game looking like your Man Cities and stuff. So it'll be really interesting to see how Carrick gets us playing, and hopefully we're riding on good confidence, and Old Trafford will be roaring, and we can use that for this. And I think I'm gutted about Dorgu as well. Really wish he really wish him well and you know and a speedy recovery. But you know he gave us that little flair. He gave us that flair on the left hand side, and he gave us like bottle and bravery when it comes to you know if his body's open and there's a gap, he might take a shot. You know, and you know his accuracy's been pretty good so far. So yeah, I'll see how we do with that. I think Carrick's has got a hell of a job on his hands to try and figure out how he's you know going to keep threat from that side. And you know if Kuna starts, then you know you lose him in the later minutes. So you know, it will be a test, and I just hope that we're up to it. But I feel like the way it's going, you can imagine that we will be. So, fingers crossed for that one. But yes, so for me personally, I'd say if Michael Carrick keeps going the way he's going, and the vibe around, you know, the football's good, and the energy's good, and you know, and everything that we just wanted and craved as fans for so long, if all of that is going on a weekly basis, I don't see why we shouldn't keep the guy. But I do understand how people would want you know, a more experienced manager, but you know, some of the best managers wouldn't have been the best managers if they didn't get the chance. So, yeah, so that's where I stand with that. Let me know what you think, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, Cads Football Talks, we're here every day talking Manchester United, and don't worry, I follow every journalist and everything on all of Twitter, which I'm sure you guys do too. So if there is anything worth talking about, you know, before the games or in between, then we will do that too. I really want to build this community up. You know, I spent 5 years on my previous channel building that up to 191,000 subscribers. You know, that was a huge achievement, and you know, God bless every single person that you know came along on the channel and found me and subscribed, and you know, and the community I've built on there. But you know, I really want to build this football page up and have a community here too. So thank you to everybody who watched, and I appreciate you. And if you're a Manchester United fan, then make sure you smash the like button and subscribe on this channel and help this videos get the reach, because the quicker these videos build up, the longer watch time and the likes means that we can attract more Manchester United fans, and we can build this channel into something special. So thank you, guys.